It's Madden NFL 22, and tonight's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the 49ers and the Raiders on Thursday night primetime.
NFL football has come to Southern Nevada as we are in the menacing new Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas. The atmosphere here electric. No matter the venue, the home folks love their silver and black. They are fired up as their Raiders get set to face off with the San Francisco 49ers. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, CD, this is a passing league. I don't think you would argue that thought. But our ball game here features a couple of teams with strong offensive lines that really like to work the ground game.
And you and I have both heard from different people in the league who's saying that it's becoming a little bit of a lost art in the NFL, the ability to run the football. And we've heard from defensive coordinators who tell us that they play the pass first. That's not something you normally hear. But these two offenses, they're true to who they are. Both ranked in the top 5 in terms of rushing yardage. I think they're both going to use those massive offensive lines to try and wear down these defenses.
Las Vegas. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
You talk about the pause that refreshes. I think it's come at a perfect time of the year for them, hasn't it? You know, the season is starting to wind down, got a little bit of a break. But how about the guy calling the signals? He's got to be excited about that because now he didn't just get a game plan for 1 week. He was able to work on it for 2 weeks. I can't wait to see if they have anything special in store for him today.
First carry now for Trey Sermon. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. On the handoff, Sermon. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. On play action, they'll throw. And the Raiders have got him. Max Crosby, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. But defensively, you really can't script the start much better. You get a 3 and out and a sack.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. They kept them short of a first down on 1st and 2nd down. And then on 3rd down, they pick up a sack. What tremendous momentum for them to start this game.
Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt. Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop, a man down on the return. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And nothing doing on his first run. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play. They're holding.
Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. Touchdown, Raiders. Jalen Waddle with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Raiders on just 2 plays have taken the lead. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years with the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And we knew that this offense was going to try and put pressure on the secondary. That was something they talked about with us. They knew that they had an advantage, pressed it, and there you go. Big play for a touchdown on their very first possession.
Yeah, and that throw, my goodness, and even 70 yards through the air. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Pretty clean and simple there, just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their 2nd drive. And listen, these Thursday night games, they're tough on the body. You just played on Sunday, 72 hours later. Hey, it's game day again. But I have to think a Thursday night game in September much more preferable than a Thursday nighter in December, no?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. You mentioned how tough it is on the body. How about the mind? You're already tired, fatigued, right? Trying to battle for playoff spots. And here you have the quick turnaround. Now, the flip side is, if you take care of business, win that Thursday nighter, you go into a mini open week. Gives you a few extra days to heal up the body and the mind before you play your next game.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. They set up the screen for Sermon. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the play. Somewhat, is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, just shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often. Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. It looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Sermon now on 1st and 10. And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Raiders, they were excellent last week in the win over the Chargers.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week. A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap. He locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Lines up and lets it go for Samuel. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Almost almost feels like anything you can do, we're going to try and match or do better. We've already seen one touchdown pass from the opposition. They tried to equal it on that throw.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away. And they call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. They are back over the 500 mark for the year. A 3-game winning streak really coming at the exact right time, Charles, to get them back into playoff contention.
And it's always a question of when do you want your football team to peak? And everyone always talks about you want to be playing your best ball going into the playoffs, but sometimes you need your best ball before that time. And this team, going into this stretch of games, they're certainly playing their best football of the year.
Excellent job pushing through tacklers that time to pick up 6. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP, Tom.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
And this is what you want to see from a defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3-and-out and giving the ball back to their offense?
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Raiders pick it up. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. And maybe getting a little too cute there on the punt return. Sometimes they forget paramount holding on to that football.
I really do believe most of the return guys think to themselves, when I get the ball, I'm going to make the play that's going to change the game. I'm going to break it. And you love that they have that attitude, but your point is so well taken. What do you have to do? First and foremost,
hold on to it.
Take care of the football. That's all he needed to do.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner. Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Hurts. Throw right side, going to be caught here by Waddle. And the Raiders are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. From the gun, it's Hurts. Touchdown! That's caught. Jerry Jeudy with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Raiders are off to a 13-0 first-quarter lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Carlson now to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. to kick it away is Carlson. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. San Francisco's offense returns to the field. And they are losers of 2 straight coming into this Thursday night game. Is it more difficult, CD, when you take a losing streak into a quick turnaround game like this?
It certainly is, because you don't get time to work on the issues that you've had throughout the season that caused you to have the record that you're having. You can't really get those set. So now you're trying to minimize those and maximize what you've been doing well. And I remember a game recently where one of the assistant coaches said to the head coach, forget our running back rotation. This guy has a hot hand, and they rode him to a victory. Those are things you have to look out for in games like this.
On second down, it's Sermon. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for third down. They'll drop the throw. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And he is going to have a 49ers first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a handoff, Sermon, and he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
They're still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
That escapes the sack. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Recovered by the offense.
Nothing the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter. Here's Tommy Townsend now as he's on to punt for San Francisco. And he's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken at the 23. 35 yards that time on the punt, and the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one, but now playing here on Thursday night. Do you think that this helps or hurts their momentum?
Well, ordinarily, I'd say it hurts the momentum because now you've got that short week. But when a team's playing as well as they are, it actually allows them to down focus and only worry about themselves and less about their opponent. So when you're playing well, you just worry about the things you're doing well and let the opponent deal with that.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Second down, Jacobs once more. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Hurts sets up to throw it. Man open, that's Henry Ruggs. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
They'll run on first down. Jacobs. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Well, there's an example of patience being rewarded. Ran the ball on first down and got stuffed. Most people would scream, throw the ball here. In this situation, they stayed with their roots, stayed with running the football, and they got rewarded.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off near the 32, 30, 10, and into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown.
Well, it certainly looked to me like he tapped into the quarterback's thought process there. And what I'm hearing more and more when I go around the league, defenders sitting in on quarterback meetings trying to learn more about how they think, so they can be in the right position, to be in the right spot, as he was there, to pick that one off and take it all the way back for a touchdown.
Zane Gonzalez on for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Jalen Hurts in this offense trotting back out. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis?
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
He'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the second quarter. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. Trucks over him, and they're able to get this one across the 35. 48 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. And sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there, and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. 2 of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
Here's Jacobs. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Working with a 2nd and 4. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's say, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
On first down, it's Jacobs. They find some open field here. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
The Raiders on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Throwing is Hurts. Open man. He completes it to Judy. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. This will wind up a loss on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
On 4th down, here's Daniel Carlson for the Raider field goal. On the right hash, officially, this will be a 51-yard attempt. Carlson able to put this one through. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Deebo Samuel and the 49ers back in possession here. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
Yeah, something to get in the ball. We'll see if they can do it. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
On 2nd down, another shot for Sermon. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Here comes the 49ers punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Time again to see Josh Jacobs and this Vegas offense operate.
And it may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Hurts to throw.
Flushed out right.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now a carry for Jacobs. And shedding through the tackle. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Going on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down, keep the sticks moving.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Jacobs. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts.
Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player.
We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. That's going to be caught by Waddle. Touchdown, Raiders! Jalen Waddle with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there. Unable to do so, that makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Carlson on for the PAT. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And it ends with a Las Vegas touchdown.
first down. Ready to kick it away is Carlson.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game.
And trying to get it to Samuel, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Merrick.
And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Well, dare I say it, it's kind of quid pro quo. Both defenses now with an interception return for a touchdown.
Your vocabulary, sir. Well done.
Carlson now to add the extra point. And the lead is now 24. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Deebo Samuel and the 49ers back in possession here.
Looking down at the stats here, realizing he has no catches. They've targeted him twice, but no catches. So how do they get him more involved, Charles?
You make sure he touches it on routes that he likes to run. Maybe even run a reverse or some type of a jet sweep so he gets his hands on the ball and get him active and involved in the game. You just try and find ways to get him going, and it doesn't have to be something that's big downfield.
Maybe kind of like in basketball, just a shooter seeing the ball go through, you get him a rep, get him more comfortable.
I agree with that totally. Maybe set that solid screen and give him an easy look.
Well, to this point, no catches. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. They'll look to throw now on first down.
And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go around.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And down he goes, brought down a Raider sack. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Man, where has the season gone? We're into week 15 now. So let's give everybody a look at what's coming up here on what should be a very interesting weekend of football. Plenty of good games to choose from in that early window. We'll highlight the one down in Tampa, a big test for the Bucs at home, as they'll be forced to reckon with the Atlanta Falcons. Plenty to like about the late afternoon games as well. As you see by the highlight, these guys are in for a battle, taking on the Arizona Cardinals. And lastly, on Monday Night Football, this will be one to tune in for, as they've got a good one lined up between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Cleveland Browns. We continue on with a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Niners. And not much went right in those first two quarters. You can see the numbers on the ground there. Not a whole lot to write home about so far. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, it's been no contest in terms of the rushing yards. You see a much, much brighter picture there. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point.
The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look.
And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they get the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you.
Well, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. Emmanuel Ogbah that time, able to drop him for a loss. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
Jacobs now. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
Well, it's not going to be a first down, but that's a nice job of picking up yardage on 3rd and long. Sometimes you just have to take what the defense gives you, and in this case, it wasn't enough to pick up the first down.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. .46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And taken right at the 35. Call it an even 40-yard punt. 7 though on the return. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Behind the chains, 2nd and 13. Again, it's Sermon. 51 yards on the ground for him so far.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception. That means everyone on the offensive side of the ball, but someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed.
And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
The 49ers are going to turn over the special teams crew. The field goal unit is out there now. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. Gonzalez's kick is good. And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
After the field goal, here's Gonzalez to kick it off.
Taking it about the 1. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Raiders now set to get the football back.
And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
On first down, Hurts.
Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
And they will rally and stop him short of the first down. They get him to the ground at the 26. He'll get 7 yards there on the keeper, but still fourth down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Las Vegas.
Now a hit and a loose football. And the Raiders pick it up. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field.
We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After review of the play, ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him, and what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their third corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on him man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. And the passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Now this throw caught left side. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Powering forward. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds.
73 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Here's Sermon.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard.
And this is Sermon.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Here's Sermon.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Trey Sermon.
His 14th touchdown now on the year.
And the 49ers are able to get a score back in the final stages of this third quarter.
That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of a season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. From the 22, here's second and 8. It's the Raiders with the lead and the football here as we get ready to start quarter number 4. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
On third down, he'll drop to throw.
And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's fourth down. Here's A.J. Cole now
as he's on to punt for Vegas. Fielded at the 33. 7 yards on the return after a punt of 39. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
The drive starts with a carry by Sermon.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
They'll try and run for the first with Sermon.
And he's got the first, but we also have a flag on the field. And they're already walking backwards. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating? The guys who just gave up that play.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
The same target, same result. It's Kittle. And he is going to have a Niners first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Taking a shot for Samuel. And that is incomplete.
They'll probably spend a little extra time dissecting the game film after this one. I think the part of their plan was to hit them over the top of the deep ball. They've been unsuccessful all night.
2nd and 10.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And the Raiders have got him. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, it looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field.
We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down.
He'll get this into the hands of Ayuk.
An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or 2 short, and it's 4th down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Here we go. Here we go.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
That was the 9th play of the drive, and they pick up 9 yards with it.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. On the handoff, Sermon. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers.
Kadarius Toney.
His 9th touchdown of the season.
And the 49ers have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Well, time to let those folks know who are tuning in looking for the late local news. We may be a moment because we've got a game again.
And, partner, except for those on the West Coast where it'll be seen in its regular time, right? That's the way it works, doesn't it? But how about that? Big-time drive right there. If they're going to have any chance, they needed a touchdown there, and they went right down the field and worked their way into the end zone.
Gonzalez to add the PAT. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Time again to see Josh Jacobs and this Vegas offense operate.
So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's getting off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Bulldozes past him. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
It's our time. It's our time. Hey, what's up? Check right 54. Right 54. Hey, pick your game up.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
127 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ballgame. Well, that is a running back who was not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him.
Yeah, in this part of the game, the fourth quarter, this is where a running back really has a chance to shine. This is what they've been training for, to take over the game down the stretch. The defense, it's been battered all game long. And here, this is just a case of a runner imposing his will and deciding he didn't want to be tackled right there.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game.
So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. On first down, Jacobs pushes him over. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Alex Leatherwood, the Alabama man, called for the penalty there.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. An ideal spot here to get a first down and try to run some more clock. And this is 2nd and less than a yard. They run it with Jacobs. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Here's Jacobs. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. Now the Niners going to signal for their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Running it with Jacobs. He's to the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Raiders are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this fourth-quarter advantage.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead now up to 14. That time a 6-play drive. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. So now the Niners down on the scoreboard. And time, a huge factor. A crushing loss to their playoff chances on the horizon, barring a huge turnaround here, starting with 1st and 10.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. He'll drop to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Trayvon Mullen. Well, it wasn't always pretty, but the interception there, that means that they should get out of here with a victory.
Yeah, this is not a game that they're going to preserve for posterity on defense, but they did finish it off, didn't they? They did make the winning play to close things out. They'll take that one and head to the locker room.
The Vegas offense ready for their next possession.
And still a little bit of time left, but the defense can't stop the clock, so 3 kneel downs should be enough to finish this one off.
Mike by 4, Mike by 4, Mike by 4. 6 man.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. The solid stiff arm. Fights through and now a crease. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now it looks like he'll throw here. Escape, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Nick Bosa in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Here's Jacobs from the gun. And he'll get down to about the 26-yard line. A sizable gain there of 9 yards, but it's still 3rd and long. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
And he'll be stopped short of the first down right around the 18-yard line. Your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for Las Vegas,
they're not going to go quietly here as the win moves them now to 8-6 on the year. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face Kansas City next week. Meanwhile, for San Francisco, their playoff hopes take a hit as they drop to 7-7. And they will be at home next week to take on the New York Giants.